Hello and welcome back to Colchester Academy's Science Revision channel. Today we're going to talk to you about menstrual cycle hormones. We're going to talk about three things today. We're going to make sure that you know what hormones are, what the three hormones are that are involved in the menstrual cycle and how they all interlink together, and also how these hormones can be used artificially in both contraceptives and fertility. Okay, let's talk about the basics of hormones. Hormones are very simply just chemicals that are secreted by various different glands around the body. Now, they could be, if you're a female, they could be the ovaries. If you're a male, they could be a gland called the testes. You've also got one that we're going to look at in a moment called the pituitary. So those glands will release the chemicals into your body, and they travel around your body very simply in the bloodstream. Now we need to know about three particular hormones in females, ones that are secreted by both the ovaries and the pituitary gland. Just take a moment to see if you can remember the names of those three hormones. Right, so let's talk about the three menstrual cycle hormones that you need to know about. The first one is FSH, also known as a follicle stimulating hormone. You've also got estrogen and you've got LH. All three of them play a role in the whole 28-day cycle of the menstrual cycle. Now FSH plays a key role. FSH is there and it is produced by the pituitary gland, and its whole job role is to mature the eggs. Once the eggs have been matured, estrogen is then secreted by the ovaries, and estrogen plays three separate roles. Estrogen will firstly inhibit any further FSH being produced, which will then mean that no further eggs are being matured. It also plays a role in building up the lining of the uterus just to make sure that it's ready. And thirdly, it will promote and stimulate the release of LH. When you get to LH, it has one job role and one job role only, and that is to release the egg if everything else has gone to plan. Right, now take a quick moment just to see whether or not you can answer these four questions. I want to know which two hormones are secreted by the pituitary gland, which hormone releases the egg, which hormone matures the egg, and which hormone builds the lining of the uterus. Just pause the video and have a little bit of a think. Okay, so let's move on and let's talk about controlling fertility. With our knowledge of these three hormones, we can then apply that knowledge into their usage in either to contraceptives or into fertility drugs. Now, contraceptives are there to reduce fertility, that's what we want them to do, and they're going to use the hormone estrogen. Now you might remember from the previous part of the video that estrogen will inhibit the release of FSH, and if we are inhibiting FSH, we are meaning that the eggs can no longer be matured. On the other end of the spectrum, there are hormones that can be used to increase fertility, so can help women get pregnant. Now that hormone that you need to know about is going to be FSH. And again, it comes back to our knowledge of FSH and FSH maturing the eggs. Fertility drugs that include FSH are given to women that have low levels of FSH in their body and therefore can't mature the eggs on their own. They're also given to women who are undergoing the procedure of IVF. If you're not sure what IVF is, go and look in your revision guide now. So in this really short video, we've looked at what hormones are, the three different menstrual cycle hormones and their uses in contraceptives or fertility treatment.